foster care was an issue that certainly the media focused on. The idea was that the state could create a public-private partnership to help with our foster care system. That ended up not going anywhere. The governor's talking about perhaps an executive order. Tell us a little bit about that, Eric.
Yeah. Well, the governor's answer at this point is to appoint a commission to look at reforming the child welfare system. And I think that's great. I mean, that marks a move forward, and I'm happy about that. I think where it started, though, was with a pretty radical idea, and that's privatization of really the whole welfare system, outside of what you would consider the monitoring and police functions that DFACS currently does. So private agencies that largely provide services now would really take control of the system. You would have a lead agency based in different regions of the state, and then you would have service providers underneath them. And the state would contract out for services. DFACS would make sure that those groups were doing their jobs, making sure the kids were treated well, not abused, and would also serve to make referrals of kids into the system. It seemed like early on that bill had a lot of legs. It came through one chamber with flying colors, got into the other chamber, and there was a desire to go slower. Recommendation that maybe we do a pilot project, which I think that's fair. I mean, with a change like this, it's good to see how it would work. We do know from Florida's example, they've done this statewide, and it's been about 15 years or so that they've had this system in place. That it has done basically what we ask our child welfare system to do each year, which is keep kids in their homes if possible, if it's safe, so that you have fewer children coming into the system. If they come into the system, make sure that they're safe, right? And once they're in the system, make sure they get out as quickly as possible. And that's basically what Florida has seen. They've seen a precipitous drop in the number of kids being taken into care, shorter amount of time in care, permanency when they're placed into whatever the final home situation is going to be. We weren't able to get any of that this year. And I think it represents a real issue that we couldn't do at least a pilot project on something like that. Is that this was part of the election year politics, not wanting to pull up something as controversial as this, and that the commission that the governor's appointed will come back and then recommend maybe a pilot project.